Hotel Aloha, that's not what I'm talking about. When I got accepted into the SEAL teams, I had a weird situation unfold. I applied one time. I did not get accepted. I have a very hard time with no's. I knew I could be competitive and do that job and would do that job well. It also proves the nature of the phenomenally competitive challenge you face to get a spot as an officer within that community. So once I got picked up very quickly off my second application, the strange part that unfolded was I got accepted, and then the detailer, that's the person that actually assigns you to your job in the military, kind of sent me a note and said, hey, based on when academy graduates are going, college ROTC officers are going, we don't have a spot for you for almost 11 months. You're in, the contract signed, you're going to get to go. You just have 11 months to burn until you show up in Pensacola, Florida, become an officer, and then go to SEAL training. I'm living in Colorado at the time. My mom and little brother are up in Steamboat Springs, idyllic, beautiful mountain town. But I'm up there staring a winter in the face, and I knew late that spring or kind of in the summer I'd be getting ready to start officer school. And I'm like, I don't think the mountains of Colorado are going to give me the best opportunity to train. You can do it anywhere, but water time and the things like that. So I moved to Hawaii. I literally sold my Jeep. I went over to Hawaii. Maui was the island that I picked to spend time on. And I really just wanted a space to train, work out, be in the water, and enjoy myself before I sign on to this next phase of my life. So I get over to Hawaii. I get a little, attached room to a house with this awesome father-daughter combo, and had a great spot over in Lahaina, which has since miserably burned to the ground, as you've seen in not so, relatively recent news. But I'm living in this idyllic town. And the thing that I didn't realize was going to be such a good deal is one of my dad's buddies from, I think, college. One of his best friends was Hawaiian. He's not native Hawaiian, but he would be called Haole Hawaiian. But like 4 or 5 generations of living in the island, they'd been there. He has a son about my age. Shout out to Zadok, both junior and the third. Zadok is one of the great names I've ever met. It makes sense we'd become friends. But they were on the island. I had that contact. I didn't tap into it right away. So my initial couple months on the island, if you said the word aloha, that word, which is very, very important in Hawaiian culture, you would just know it on a superficial level. It's a greeting. Aloha to somebody coming to your table if you're waiting at a restaurant. Aloha to a hotel, they put a lei on you. There's nothing wrong with that. That word is far deeper than that. If you were to talk to a true Hawaiian, that word, I don't want to butcher it and take from them, but it means family and love and taking care of others, and ohana means clan to them. I mean, it's a very special word. I lived there for a couple months before I joined Zadok and his family. And when I got there, my understanding of aloha went from surface to this is a very, very special thing. This is something totally different. I remember paddling outrigger canoes. That's one of the big racing cultures and kind of competitive cultures out there. And I remember one day we're getting ready to go out on this race. And when we're getting ready to get in these canoes, I see this kind of older Hawaiian guy come up, and I'm looking at the buddies. They're like, oh, this is going to be great. And I didn't know what was going on. And in Hawaiian, he gave a blessing to the boat. And I remember asking the guy next to me who was Hawaiian, I said, what did he say? He's like, man, this language is, not everybody knows it perfectly well, but he's basically asked the boat to carry our burdens in this race, like our weight, our brokenness, our failure or shortcomings. Let this boat carry those through this weight. But then a flip side of that was let our paddles honor the boat and make it go as fast as it can go. And I'm like, he said all that in that like one sentence. He's like, yeah, pretty much. So it's a very, very special concept. But I remember my first Christmas that I'd really ever spent away from family was on the islands. Zadok and his family, his dad invited me, his sister, to their Christmas. I have rarely felt more love outside of my own home. It was just, they took care of me as if we were family. I had gifts. I had every welcome and opportunity to be there. It was magic. And that was truly that aloha spirit. Only a week or two ago, I was up in North Dakota. I was out on a bird hunt with some of my good buddies. 2 of them are military guys. And the person that was hosting us is a retired lieutenant colonel, Marine. So same rank as me, retired. He basically has an Airbnb that you can use to go hunt out of. But the reason I bring it up is his family invited us to a dinner the second night we were there. They don't know us from Adam. They knew one person in our group. But when I walked into that house, all you could feel was aloha. I mean, they cooked this beautiful meal. They said a blessing over the meal. We broke bread together, and you couldn't have felt more at home if you had tried. I think we're being tricked in this world as to how we relate to one another culturally. If you watch the news, it's all about the division, two separate camps that hate each other, are fighting, and we're heading towards civil war. I don't see it. I travel this country relentlessly, and almost everyone I meet is gracious, kind, interested, would give you their shirt off their back. That's aloha. We need to start focusing on that, not the noise that's distracting us from who we are. Ever onward.